Okay, before we continue, please look at this picture. Look at some of these pictures. I know why I'm showing you these pictures. This first picture here is Benjamin Madubogu hugging Nnamdi Kanu. The next, he embraced him. The next, he kissed him. That's the first picture here. You know, when I am doing my analysis, it is important you listen, for those who care to listen. Because if you follow us, you will understand more about this struggle. Yes. Can somebody help me open the book of Matthew? For those of you who go to church, open the book of Matthew 26. Matthew 26. You can see from 48 to 54 the activities surrounding the betrayal of Jesus Christ by Judas Iscariot. There, you heard that the same man that called Nnamdi Kanu Rabbi, just like in the case of Jesus, where Judas Iscariot called Jesus Rabbi. The same name they call Nnamdi Kanu Rabbi. They call Judas called Jesus Rabbi, because it is in the Jewish practice to call a teacher Rabbi. That's what they call their teachers. They call Nnamdi Kanu Rabbi, Rabbi. Now, in the same subtle manner that he embraced Nnamdi Kanu, hugged him, and then kissed him, that was the same way Judas did. The same way Judas did. Oh, Judas said, the person I am going to kiss now, this is the person that is our master, Jesus. So seize him. I hope that my money is complete. I hope that my money is complete. So maybe I should look for the pictogram. Now, are you seeing the pictures? I think I brought 4 pictures from this dude, this fella, kissing and hugging and showing intimacy with Jesus, or with Nnamdi Kanu. The same thing I did where Judas was hugging, kissing, embracing Jesus. So you can see these things. So does it give you any concern at all? He is doing this even in the court. Now, in this same court that found him wanting on equal charges against Nnamdi Kanu, and he is working freely, identifying with politicians, going with convoy in the same place, over the same, still having the same case, the same way he was acquitted, Nnamdi Kanu was acquitted, and that is the case Nnamdi Kanu is answering today, and he is free. So can you relate? Those who know. If you know, you know. Can you relate? You remember that na ngwongwe ji alụ ọlụ mgbe avụ ekreti ESN nọ n'aka anụ manụa. Na it was onye abụ onye mebiri ngwongwe ji emezi ihe ma granọt ma ngwongwo ndị ọzọ. Na onye abụrụ ya jebunye ndị a. So when we ask, it was a rhetoric when we asked, could there have been any plea bargain? Yes. They surrendered the ESN to the government through Anambra and Imo State government. So that was why you saw Chinasan Chika Dozie had some time ago, last 2 years, crying that Soludo betrayed them. Okay, 1 year or 2 years ago, betrayed them. After they agreed to work with him, he betrayed them. Working with him how? By surrendering the structure of IPOB. That was when you heard Soludo always saying, don't mind the criminal in Finland, we are working with the IPOB. We are working with the IPOB. So the IPOB is the DOS. That's what they mean. That was why when even people who were apprehended and confessed being sent to carry out crime by China Sangoru, nobody was disturbed about that. It didn't even make news. But some of you knew. You saw that news that time. You got it from first hand that time. So you can see. So let us now go into the program for today properly. Now, the other image I didn't show you, if you remember that there were some media that admitted to be used some hungry media people. See Daily Post. They accepted to be used. Did you hear them say Simon Ekpa will soon be extradited to Nigeria? The witness tells court Simon Ekpa will soon be extradited to Nigeria. See, that's the image you are seeing now. So you can see you have every reason to disregard that information. That's what the DSS witness person suggested, and they now pick it up from there to tell you. Remember, in the first place, when you are talking about this extradition, we treated this last time. Nobody's extraditing Simon Ekpa. There are things you must know. One, Finland and Nigerian state doesn't have that that bilateral agreement. Extradition treaty is never signed. It's not existing. And by law of contract, by law of agreement, by law, you can only work on things that is existing. Agreement is made in the past, so it is implemented in the future. Agreement is made. You don't, after something has happened now, you make agreement to go and execute the thing that happened before the agreement. So if they are going to reach a new agreement, any bilateral agreement on extradition, it will not be starting with Simon Ekpa's case. So apart from that, the Finland knows about Nigerian question mark on human rights implementation. So they are not willing to surrender their citizens to be incarcerated by people who have no regard for human rights. So now you should see that all these things you are hearing from left, right, and center, none of them hold any water. Yes, nobody we all remember. We are not forgetting in a haste. It was all in the media how Nigeria was voted out with just 3 votes in partaking in the UN Human Rights Commission membership. Nigeria was voted out because they just received only 3 votes. Now all the media made news with it until Baya and Anuga. Boyingom Benwa Noga. Mbenwa and Noga came up to spread the lies like his predecessor, Lai Mohammed. Then the news media started, selling again with that. They want readers, they want views, they want traffic. So anyone, anywhere, benefits, anywhere wind blow, they follow. But let me show you from this day. Look at this image from this day newspaper. You see it? So you see, vote were cast against Nigeria in the UN Human Rights Council election. So saying it's an error now is left for you. But all of you know what you read before today. All right. So that's how they spend your money. So I am showing you how Simon made it very categorically clear by saying, don't judge Nnamdi Kanu by my actions. He is not giving orders from detention. We are Biafrans. We are the ones doing what we want to do, what we feel is right, to have ourselves preserved. Simon Ekpa clarifies that he does not take orders from Nnamdi Kanu and act solely on his own conviction. He takes full responsibility for his actions, urging people not to judge Nnamdi Kanu based on their actions today, as Kanu is in detention and cannot be involved in what he's not involved in. So you see it. So I want to make it clear, I am not working for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I am not taking orders from him, and I cannot take instruction from someone unjustly held in detention. Every step I take, every action I carry out, I do so from my own conviction, out of our pain for his continued incarceration. Not because he is giving us order. It is our pain. I take full responsibility for my actions. They are mine, not his. Let no one use what I do, what I commit, to condemn him. He carries enough burden already. That man don't try. He go kill himself now. So let us relieve him of all this. We are doing it as a people. We have conscience. We see things. We have ears. We have nose. We are seeing what is injustice. We are trying to defend ourselves. We want to preserve ourselves. We, the ones outside, must carry the weight of our choices, of our actions, not giving it to the man that is already carrying enough. He is not responsible. We are. This was Simon Ekpa's words. So why are you all hell-bent on trying to twist the narrative? If you read this same thing from the DOS source, you will not see the same information. Now, see how somebody like Ekpa, the DOS advocate, said it. Said internet is a big archive. We have the update for a day like this. We are keeping it. The evidence is clear. Simoron Berima is not for Nnamdi Kanu and not for IPOB. Let the zoo terrorist government, the terrorist DSS, and other witness take note of this. Now he showed video where our PM was exonerating Nnamdi Kanu. So when you want to ask question, your question should be, are you sure these people have anybody that's really literate? Because they are listening to this man say these things himself. They still want to indict him. They are listening to Simon Ekpa trying to exonerate Nnamdi Kanu himself, not under anybody's pressure. On different occasions, so you can see it. That's why we call them never do well. Now, that very day, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that's 2 days ago, his lawyer was cross-examining. So there are more important points. One is that the defendant's counsel, Chief Agabe Kanu, SAN, he was able to floor the prosecutor or the witness, floor them so terribly bad that everybody already started jubilating that Nnamdi Kanu would be freed by the judgment of the court, because it became very obvious that they have nothing against him. Now look at this. They asked, do you know that all these properties of the... He said, did you try this man in the presence of his... or did you take his statement in the presence of his lawyers? He said no. So you took statement on duress, which of course does not allow you to proceed with any judgment or any case against him. You said you are charging him on terrorism. When you presented all the items you intercepted or you collected from him, was there anything related to terror? He said no. The person you caught him with, has the person anything to terror? No. Okay. And this man have spent 10 years on this case. You know what 10 years means in the life of a man? He do know. He asked him so many technical questions. So by now you are saying you did not get anything that made him a terror. He said yes, he did not get anything. So but his action. So which action? Committed where? Because of course there is no room to judge somebody over committing something. You can't say where he committed it. So there is no locus at all. Where did he commit? They didn't know that that is what the Sun was establishing. When he was asking you, oh, in South, people in Southeast, people in South, this one. The witness didn't know it. The question was targeting certain places. You cannot try a man over activity he did not commit where you don't have a jurisdiction to try. Activities in London, you don't have jurisdiction to try somebody over activities in London. So, now, Agabi, the chief Agabi now asked him several other questions. I don't know if I can be reading because this our sister, Onyendo's sister, has done noble. Getting these things all together is not an easy task. It's not an easy task. So I don't know if I can, if you will have the time to read. You have seen it all, although it was not complete in different places. So, so that is what we have tried to establish. So I don't know if there's any need reading it. Are you aware that the defendant, sorry, the court apologized to our defendant for some of the wrongs done on him. The witness said he wasn't in the court, and he proceeded, Agabi, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, proceeded to ask, the people of Southeast are in DSS, Air Force, military, and all of that. He was aware. Now, the former Inspector General of Police, in fact, I can't continue to read, it's too many. It's too many. This is not what we will spend time on. I have many of them, but I want to read this particular one from Elechukwu Hagi. Elechukwu Hagi alone have written several articles from just 2 days ago. From the day Nnamdi Kanu started going to court again, I did a program, I showed you some things, why the DOS always, whenever Nnamdi Kanu want to go to court, do exactly the same thing like the Nigerian government, to tell you their synergy. They will either start maybe buying cattle, then try to show that the ESN is alive, is still active. They want to do something like this whenever Nnamdi Kanu is about to go to court. So I don't want to dwell on that now. Now let me show you something. Let's read from Elechukwu Hagi's page. He has about 6 different articles trying to indict Simon Ekpa and Aloy Ejimako. Not only him, some of them who claim intellectualism in that DOS, they have started writing a lot of junks and trying to create. Just go to Elechukwu Hagi's Facebook page, you will see different junk. He even raised a particular unexisting rumor that nobody ever spread any such rumor. He just generated it just to create attention. There they said Simon Ekpa, that Ibrahim Traore, people are writing that Ibrahim Traore has placed support mandating Finland to release Simon Ekpa. You know, so you can see it there. He posted something like that. I don't know if I captured that too, but if I don't, you can get from his source. All manner of rumor and lies they are spreading that doesn't exist. Now let us take this particular one. See their claim. The Nigerian government witness did not accuse Mazen Nnamdi Kanu of working with DOS. He accused the IPOB leader of working with Simon Ekpa. That is the witness. The person writing is Elechukwu Hagi, or he copied what somebody wrote and pasted in his platform. It means that Simon Ekpa was doing exactly what the government of Nigeria wanted him to do. They have seen that if they connect Simon Ekpa to Nnamdi Kanu, it will help them to nail him. Nail who? Nail Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Are you getting it? Let us continue. Now, the question you need to ask yourself is this. Why is it too convenient with the DSS witness to connect Nnamdi Kanu with Simon Ekpa, but not with DOS? Have you seen the question? We will also answer it. Are you thinking this? Why Simon Ekpa? Why Simon Ekpa, they ask. Now, I want to answer them before I continue reading. They are connecting Simon Ekpa because they spend so much money, so much time, so much energy, so much resources of all kinds and negotiations on Nnamdi Kanu to get him arrested and repatriated for doing Biafran thing, for seeking to liberate Biafran people. Similarly, the Nigerian state spends so much resources of all kinds, including their time, their energy, monies, and whatever agreement bilateral they have reached out. They don't mind spending more to get Simon Ekpa back. Why? Because Simon Ekpa is doing Biafran agitation. Now, you ask, why not DOS? Now I want to ask you, for you that say you are a Christian, does Satan come to tempt a fellow satanic person? Was it not said that Satan left all the people that doesn't matter and went to tempt Jesus? Was that not what you read in your Bible? Or when you say that somebody is facing so much persecution, or this person is because he has greatness in him, that is why the Satan is always bringing attack on this person because they know this person will be great. Is that not what you confess as a Christian? So that is why the enemy is tempting, so that the enemy does not tempt an empty person. So don't you know that at that point, as you profess that Christian belief, that you have shown that your DOS is so worthless, even when they receive all the things they receive from the government of Nigeria to betray Nnamdi Kanu, they have seen that they are so worthless. They are of no importance. So attaching them is a total waste of time. That is why they keep making. I will still show you different things they said in the past, and today they are trying to vilify Simon Ekpa. So let us continue reading before I make more analysis on. Now he said, "Are you thinking this? Why Simon Ekpa?" That is what Elochukwu Hage posted. Now I continue. The answer is not far from what I have been telling you on this page for the past 3 years. Simon Ekpa was recruited by the Nigerian government from day one. Now, Simon Ekpa was recruited by the Nigerian government from day one. That is what they're saying. Then I'm asking, you say Simon Ekpa has been working for the Nigerian government. You posted last time alongside all your fellow DS persons, jubilating that Simon Ekpa will be extradited, will be renditioned, that Nigerian government will see to it. So, who do you then say is working for the extradition of Simon Ekpa? You continue to contradict yourself, because when you make up one lie, you will lead another lie to cover it up. When you notice it is lie, it is not working, you will keep on cooking lies until you get exhausted. Let's continue reading. Every one of his actions was to cripple IPOB. He introduced criminality. He murdered our people, including 11 Biafran women. He set up criminals that kidnapped, took ransom, and murdered our people. He moved against every structure of IPOB. He attacked DOS and media warriors and created IPOB institutions like M Branch. Now, remember, this M Branch, they were claiming in 2022 that they were the one that created M Branch. Then Simon told them it was not the Nnamdi that created them. Now today they are now giving it back to Simon Ekpa because they feel it is convenient for them to perpetuate their evil. Now see, they said he murdered this one, he said this kidnap. Then I am referring, did they ever show you someone who is involved in crime of taking the lives of innocent people and it is linked to Simon Ekpa before? But we have countless of witnesses that are linked to them. They confessed, Ejima confessed, Onyami confessed, many others confessed. They were held by Anambra police divisions And these confessions, nobody mentioned Simon Ekpa. They mentioned Chinasa Nwuru particularly and Chika Dozieha. And they specifically said they sent them on this kidnap journey to make money because they were no longer paid. They gave two different reasons. And they said Nnamdi Kanu never saddled, no, never gave them the instruction to do what they were doing. That it was Chinasa Nwuru. Now you ask, why after all this confession, nobody ever tagged Chinasa Nwuru a terrorist? Let us not dwell on this inconsequential people. Now let's continue to read what they are writing. Now he continued to say, those of you Simon Ekpa fooled, some of you Simon Ekpa fooled are not critical thinkers. You guys think with your emotions. He pushed you guys, talked tough, and all of you felt for him. Imagine that we did not rise against him. Imagine that we did not separate him and his criminal gang from IPOB and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. There are some people I used to respect Simon Ekpa fooled. I told them that their support for Simon Ekpa would disgrace them, and today it has happened. Only the shameless among them will still claim rights. Ilechukwu Hage, philosopher, teacher, and activist, 2025. You can see the person talking. Now, they said Simon Ekpa fooled us. Yes. So now you see the lies. That if not for their kind intervention, that what would have been the fate of Nnamdi Kanu? Now, watch and hear videos where Simon Ekpa, because of the good nature in him, made it very clear. Countless videos, but I will show you 4. Some of you have seen it already in different social media platforms. See how Simon Ekpa vindicated Mazen Nnamdi Kanu himself, consciously, not under any influence or any inducement. Now, this goes to show you that these guys, they call the DOS, have always been working like the barrister they gave Nnamdi Kanu that was working with the enemy all along until Onyendo discovered and sacked him. So they have been so mischievous. Now, as you are watching this video now, you have to do the reflection by yourself. Listen to Simon Ekpa vindicating Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, like all the other people who were captured by Nigerian police in Anambra, confessing that their activities have nothing to do with Nnamdi Kanu or Simon Ekpa. Rather, it was these same criminal people who call themselves DOS that wanted to, transform the good intention of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu into their money-making business and criminality. Listen to Simon Ekpa.
Order, no order from DSS dungeon. The reason for us not taking order anymore from the DSS dungeon is to safeguard our leader. We want our leader to be safe. We want to exonerate our leader from anything that Biafrans will be doing for his own best interest. So any actions that Biafra people will be taking in Biafra land, you don't attach Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to it. Any action that Biafrans will be taking in Biafra land for the freedom of Biafra, the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and freedom of all prisoners of conscience, you don't bring Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to it.
Say Mazen Nnamdi Kanu IPOB. We have government in exile. And everything that we are doing today to delegitimize Nigeria is under Biafra government in exile and under Biafra de facto government, not under IPOB, not under Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Okay? So,
and the day of this new dimension has come. Let me make it very clear. We are not going to receive any order from anybody that is in DSS dungeon. And the day of this new dimension has come.
You see, whatever I am doing today has nothing to do with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He did not give me the order. And I've made it very clear. We exonerate him from everything we are doing today. That particular thing has been made very clear to the public, including to the Nigerian media. I am fighting on my own, leading the Biafra government in exile.
Okay, thank you for watching and hearing from the horse's mouth. Already, the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu are prepared for them, so no cause for alarm. We are doing this just for clarity purposes. Now see, like these criminal DOS people, like the P2B supporters, they don't want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. Their brother from the P2B obedient supporters, why they continue to pursue unexistent evil narratives in the DOS, their colleague P2B idiot people are also projecting their own. See their twist of fact. The particular man they call Charles Obu. Don't know if he's from Ebonyi State or so. They keep on pursuing false narrative, they keep on trying to, create any impression. They know the Taya. Last election, they worked on your intelligence. They told you that if you release Nnamdi Kanu, P2B will not win. Igbo presidency will be gone. And the foolish Ohanes Ndoshi and the other people, played in the gallery. Every other person who was, so emotional, over emotional, because unreasonably emotional, I think I can say, who loves Nnamdi Kanu also yielded, believing that P2B will do this and do that. They forgot in a hurry that P2B was the man who wanted to bury, not just to buy. He helped them to buy the Biafran agitation. Now he wanted to bury. He don't want anything to be heard about the Biafran issue again, because he see he's already in the limelight. He must get his own part of the cake, Nigerian cake, national cake. So that is what or why they have continued, because P2B know he cannot rescue the poor masses. Even he himself in his campaign said he's not coming to fight the people that have made Nigeria to suffer for the past 60 years or so. They are not going to, he's not ready to do that. He will only start. Now you ask yourself, can you build a house in the air? You must dig into the foundation. So till tomorrow, P2B is not willing to fight the people that made. So how many years is he even going to do? He will still go. The evil will continue. So that is why we told him, Oga, we know you are not a sincere man. Forget about your subtle approach to this political pursuit. So now listen, let's read from Charles Ugu. He said the government has started preparing ground for Kanu's release, of course, to win political favor from Nnamdi ahead of 2027. And Nnamdi and their brothers said, yes, we want it like that. We want it like that. Let the Buhari or Tinubu government, let them get the support of Nnamdi and release Nnamdi Kanu. It is better for us to have Nnamdi Kanu released than having your fruitless presidency, that you will still remain an underdog to the West. You still be controlled around. So we don't need your presidency. It is so useless to us. So we are answering you outrightly. Yes. We did not find weapon of terrorism on Kanu during the arrest in Lagos, DSS witness tells court. Charles Ugu is showing us. Charles Ugu, we already know. They did not find anything. And we are still going to crush them in the court. We have capable lawyers. No more infiltrators. Nnamdi Kanu already sacked the infiltrators. Those who were working with your colleague criminals in the DOS. Now, because yes, the DOS worked to campaign for P2B against Nnamdi Kanu release last time. They were bold to do that and was attacking Simon for standing against that. So now they want to come and pay lip service again for people to think, they think people forget easily. See Charles Ugu saying, now with Nigeria's next general election 2 years away, Charles Ugu is once again spreading misleading narratives. Now this is the person that is trying to review or expose Charles Ugu. This post of his passes a deeper problematic message. Charles Ugu do not genuinely want Nnamdi Kanu's release anytime soon until they achieve their new Nigeria dream of Kanu's release would hamper the chance of Peter Obi's next attempt to become Nigeria president. In their pursuit of political goals under one Nigeria, these political online errand boys simply want Nnamdi Kanu remain incarcerated so that Peter Obi will try another luck. So after Nnamdi Kanu remains there, Peter Obi tries another luck. What happens? So Nnamdi Kanu will be told to go to court again. The court that your Peter Obi went to, what came out of it? That's Ugu, you better shut up before you get rages from Igbo Biafrans, especially. Before you get rage. Because if you know how much Igbos are prepared to go, how far they are prepared to go to have Nnamdi Kanu free, you won't be showing your face saying this nonsense. Yes, I am begging you to refrain from this idiocy. Go and check the outcome of the court on the 2nd May 2025. Now, Defense Counsel shines in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial day 2. Yes, it was just like the David and Goliath showdown. So Anthony Ndoka was writing. The ongoing trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, 2K, dramatic turn today as Defense Counsel Chief Kanu Agabi, senior advocate of Nigeria, grilled the Nigerian witness. The witness's testimony was riddled with inconsistencies, and the defense relentless questioning exposed the prosecution weak case. They had no case, just like the ex-while defendant or lawyer defending Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the person of senior advocate Mike Ezekome said, it is just going to embarrass Nigeria proceeding with this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because it's as weak as dodo, it's as empty as dodo. If you remember, that was his words. So now, the witness admission that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's statement was taken under duress without his lawyer present, and that he didn't analyze the items seized from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's from Nnamdi Kanu's possession, raised an eyebrow. You just did that to humiliate the Igbo race, because since you did not analyze the items since 10 years plus ago, it means you had nothing against him. You just want to subdue him and subdue the Igbo race. Now, the witness claimed that Simon Ekpa was working with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu based on solely based on social media readings, was debunked by the defense counsel. Defending counsel. Now, the defense line of questioning highlighted several key issues. One, that there was lack of concrete evidence. Two, proceeding with that, the prosecution case relies heavily on circumstantial evidence and hearsay, nothing tangible at all. Unlawful arrest, and that's number two, unlawful arrest and detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu arrest and detention were marred by irregularities, including the absence of his lawyer during the statement taken. That, of course, was a very big issue. It's a big question in the eyes of the law. Now, number three, selective prosecution. The defense pointed out that other individuals and groups agitating for separation or self-determination are not being prosecuted similarly. You did not get this question. That's why I want you to pay attention in this particular part. You remember that Nnamdi Kanu was arrested with other people in 2015. And you remember that Nnamdi Kanu is not going to court again based on the current adoption, the kidnap issues. The Supreme Court accepted the appeal court judgment to the extent that Nnamdi Kanu, that Nigerian government does not have any locus to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They accepted that Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail as by even Federal High Court Omaya and the appeal court, Federal Appeal Court too. Now, they also accepted that Nnamdi Kanu should be compensated, because when they did not go against that judgment, it means they upheld it. Nnamdi Kanu should be compensated, and that Nnamdi Kanu have been treated wrongly. He has been treated wrongly. So, the only ground that the Supreme Court said that Nnamdi Kanu should stand another trial is going back to his 2014-15 arrest. Now, there were 4 other people who were arrested alongside him Let us get it now clear. He was arrested alongside other people. You remember? There, Nnamdi Kanu was charged for this terrorism, and now with evidences provided in the first sitting, with the materials, what is it called again, that they provided from the 4 bags, none was proven to be anything that has to do with terrorism, meaning that the accusation of Nnamdi Kanu being charged for terrorism is now futile. It's just wasting of time of people. Remember that Sowore had said it clearly that every day Nnamdi Kanu goes to court, the federal government spends 500 million naira. This is a government that cannot pay workers. Spend 500 million naira to, and another person said it was 800 million, including a brother to Nnamdi Kanu. That claim of 500 million is not correct. They spent 800 million. That to say that some people are actually cashing out from Nnamdi Kanu's case. It's not as if they are really trying him for any crime. So it is a cash out and intimidation of a particular race, humiliation of a particular race. So now you see, it is so clear. Now 4 people were apprehended or were arrested alongside Nnamdi Kanu in 2015, and now they said that somebody was caught alongside with Nnamdi Kanu. And who was the person? Was the person anything related to terror? The witness said no. That means everything they have to offer against Nnamdi Kanu hold no water. So they are just holding a man wrongly for. That is why the judge picked offense and said he is tired of allowing this to happen to someone. He is looking at his conscience as human being first. How can you keep a man away from his family under incarceration for 10 good years plus? No judgment, no nothing. Now, the interrogator said, the Chief Agabi said, so it means you know that these items you collected, most of them now have been wasted because they are no more useful. A lot of them has expired and all of that. The witness accepted to that. So it is a deliberate. You did not analyze the things you got from the accused for 10 years. So you can see. Now, see the selective prosecution we are talking about now. In the number 4 of this, as listed by this man here, Ndoka. Now, the defense pointed out that other individuals and groups agitating for separation or self-determination are not being prosecuted similarly. Now, IPOB prosecution, the witness admitted that the federal government was the sole party in the prosecution case, raising question about the legitimacy of the prosecution, of the proscription. That is to say, the proscription you also give the group is also not going to hold, because it's also a futile effort. Only one person cannot proscribe. So, as a legal entity, a federal government who is in a battle with one man cannot also be the one prosecuting the person and also be the one witnessing and doing everything. Now look at this. Now the defense impressive performance has shifted the narrative, and the prosecution's case now hangs in the balance. As the trial continues, all eyes will be on the court to see if justice will be served. You can see that. Now, key takeaway: the prosecution's case is weak and relies on circumstantial evidence. Now, the defense is determined to prove Nnamdi Kanu's innocence. Now, the trial outcome will be significant implications for the IPOB movement and Nigerian justice system. So we watch on the ball to roll. This is not exactly where I'm going. So you follow me so that you get where we are going. Now, where we are going is we want to take the trend of Obinno Zaganobi, a name on social media. Now, he said, all these things, selective justice we are seeing, everything we are seeing playing out right now is a pointer to something that all of us need to see. Now, this raises a troubling question that I am trying to insinuate. Said, if Nnamdi Kanu, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, is being tried for same 2015 case, why is it that he's the only person standing this trial this time? Are you Biafrans not asking the question? Nnamdi Kanu was arrested alongside other people. We have somebody that was the you call him the ESN commander. We have somebody like Chidebere Onwudiwe, the national coordinator of IPOB. We have somebody like Benjamin Madubugu, who was a commander, an IPOB member, a prominent one. We have David Nwawisi, the former field maintenance engineer on the secondment to MTN. Now, we also have Bright Ishinwachimezie, an IPOB member and alleged welfare officer for the group. Now, why is it that Nnamdi Kanu is said to be standing trial not because the federal government is running away from mentioning anything about his kidnap. So they are running into where the Supreme Court now took it. That is 2015. That earlier trial started afresh. So now, since they said this is what is going back, why is Nnamdi Kanu the only person standing this trial? Is it not the same reason why his face was covered when he was brought back? Because people who was around him were there. But also, why are all the witnesses covering their faces? Is it not the same reason why the other people who are now living in Abuja, whom you are seeing with politicians and the political lawyers, who are now picking tickets to stand for elections, lawyers who are now seen with Akwakoko throwing money everywhere in club, money in bundles, lawyers cashing out. Now, they are now the ones who are now making accusations. Not knowing we know that they are the ones also who are covering their faces to bear witness. Okay. Why is it that Nnamdi Kanu is the only person standing trial since it's that case that involved these other people? So this is the question the Biafran people must ask. This Obi knows Aganobi is trying to tell you. These four individuals, along with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, faced an 11-count charge in 2016, which was later reduced to 5-count charges, to which they all pleaded not guilty. However, even Nnamdi Kanu himself pleaded not guilty. So, however, a significant development occurred on October 13, 2022, when the Court of Appeal in Abuja, in an unanimous decision by a 3-justice panel led by Justice Jumel Hanatu, struck out the charges against Mazen, the remaining 5-count charges, and his co-defendants. The count charges was struck out from Nnamdi Kanu and his co-defendants, Benjamin Madubugu and the other Chidebere Onwudiwe, David Nwawisi, and Bright Ishinwachimezie. So all these people, this case was quashed on their head. So how come the federal government now retrieve back this case and these other people are no more included? You should ask. So the same reason why some people are covering their faces to be a witness against Nnamdi Kanu, because there have been some plea bargain. But you want to hear it from my mouth, no problem. I will still tell you. So now, however, a significant development occurred in 2020. So when the Court of Appeal in Abuja, in an unanimous decision or in an unanimous decision by a 3-justice panel led by Justice Junai Hanatu, struck out the charges against Nnamdi Kanu and his co-defendant, effectively discharging them. The court ruled that Nnamdi Kanu's rendition from Kenya on June 27, 2021 was unlawful, violating his fundamental human rights and international treaties. This illegality, the court held, stripped the Federal High Court of jurisdiction to try the case, leading to the acquittal of all 5-count charges. When the appeal court made this proclamation, they stripped the chances of visiting this case again from the Federal High Court. But the Supreme Court reversed it and gave them power to try it again, which is unethical in legal practice. Yes. Now, this raises a troubling question that I am trying to, okay. Now, so if the appellate court struck out the charges against Kanu and his co-defendant on October 13, 2022, why is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu being tried again over the same case? That is the question all of us should be asking. Now, why his co-defendant Chidebere Onwudiwe, Benjamin Mmadubugu, David Nwawisi, and the Bright Chimezie are walking freely today, even in the streets of Abuja? We see them even coming to the court, brazenly working with politicians, snapping pictures and posing, dressing good, and now forming stakeholders. Kanu remains in detention, facing prosecution for charges that appears identical to those previously dismissed. This discrepancy demands scrutiny, and all Biafrans must come to the desk, must come on deck, must come on the table for us to look into it. Why are people masking to bear witness against Nnamdi Kanu? Why was Nnamdi Kanu masked when he was brought to the court? Why are people who are supposed to be answering the same case with him, who passed the same sentence in the same judgment, are working freely, moving with politicians, and not involved in the case anymore? What happened at night? What transpired? Who are these people really? What are they up to? Who are they? Are they still those people in the DOS Umuchineke? Are they these IPOB people we know under DOS? So why are they still shamelessly talking about Nnamdi Kanu and indicting Simon Ekpa? Now, the Nigerian government appealed the Court of Appeals ruling to the Supreme Court, which on December 15, 2023, reversed the decision, specifically for Kanu. The Supreme Court held that his unlawful rendition did not deprive the federal government of jurisdiction to try him, ordering the constitution of his trial. However, the co-defendants have not faced further charges or appeals. This clearly indicates that their acquittal stands. So you ask, why is their acquittal standing and Nnamdi Kanu is still not discharged? Why is the acquittal standing and Nnamdi Kanu is not acquitted? Why is Nnamdi Kanu still facing castigation and these people are working freely and accusing Simon Ekpa, and Simon is also facing trial, and the resources are being expended to get Simon Ekpa brought back, and these people are working freely in Nigeria, and we know their positions. They are highly ranked in IPOB structures and they are working freely. Nobody is touching them. These are the questions you should ask, and you can answer yourselves too. This raises another critical question. Did the 4 co-defendants take a plea deal? They should let us know. Or were they simply excluded from further prosecution? This is not public evidence of plea deal, leaving their freedom in stark contrast to Nnamdi Kanu's ongoing ordeal. This is something we must look into. I am raising these points to highlight the illegality and the inconsistencies surrounding Onion Duma's and Nnamdi Kanu's trial. Many may not fully grasp the gravity of the injustice being meted out to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for standing for his people. Now, the chances of Nnamdi Kanu receiving fair treatment within Nigerian judicial system appears brazenly minimal, as the selective prosecution of one individual while others charged for the same offenses work free points to a manipulation of justice. There is a palpable fear that the authorities may be maneuvering towards a predetermined outcome, potentially hanging Kanu a death sentence or life imprisonment. But we have ruled out this given the extent of how obvious it has become that he is innocent. Now, the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not merely a legal matter; it is a moral and ethical challenge that demands critical thinking. Why does one man continue to face trial for charges that were struck out for all defendants involved? Why have his co-defendants been spared further prosecution while Kanu remains in the cross chair of the state? Now, this question points to deep issues of fairness, judicial independence, and rule of law in Nigeria. They compel us to consider whether the pursuit of Kanu is driven by justice or by political motives aimed at silencing dissent. As observers, we must ask ourselves, what does it mean for a judicial system to selectively enforce accountability? Can justice truly prevail when the process appears tainted by inconsistencies and potential biases? No. The answers to these questions may reveal uncomfortable truths about the state of democracy and human rights in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu trial is a litmus test for the nation. Yes, it is a litmus test to the Nigerian state. Yes. Yes. Nnamdi Kanu's trial will reveal a lot of things that people have been, holding. Yes. People want to test the Nigerian practice of democracy, really, with this case. They want to see Nigerian commitment to fairness and equity. An incumbent government of Nigeria knows it is upon them to deliver and save themselves from the shame, because there is need for transparency, equity, and accountability in resolving this issue. So, about that DOS issue, about the whole thing, you can remember that these DOS people made a statement some time ago, around 2023 or so. They said from today onwards, any media outfit in Nigeria that, or print media, online news, or others anywhere in Nigeria that's try to tag Simon Ekpa's activities to Nnamdi Kanu, that they will sue that media to the court. Yes, they should be ready to meet them in the court. So they remember that they carefully said that Nnamdi Kanu doesn't know who Simon Ekpa is. Simon Ekpa doesn't know who Nnamdi Kanu is. So how come today they are trying to link up Simon Ekpa to Nnamdi Kanu? Because they want to pursue a narrative that Simon Ekpa is working with the Nigerian government. They want to prove one stupid thing, when they themselves said Simon Ekpa doesn't have anything to do. So why are they disturbed? Even when they know, because I have seen some of them share one particular video where Simon Ekpa was clear about this, relieving Nnamdi Kanu of his activities and that of autopilot. So what happened? That this never do well are still tagging Nnamdi Kanu or Simon Ekpa to Nnamdi Kanu. Or they are claiming that what the witness said is holding any water. Why are they claiming that they don't know it doesn't hold water? When I told you about these things, you think we are blackmailing. Now look at this picture.